Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Monday, August 2nd, 2010. Well, folks, let's get into it today. The markets are having a sizable rally. The Dow is up 200 points, NASDAQ is up 40, and the S&P up about 23 points on the day. Essentially, that's 1.75 to 2% higher across the board. You can see the markets are essentially trading at the highs of the day, although we do have a key resistance line that gave us a little bit of a pullback. We're now surging up towards that level once again. Keep an eye on this range, folks. Again, see this little green trend line. If I zoom out on the charts, I want to show you where this comes from because it is actually a very, very key level. Going back to mid last week, you can see we began to have a little bit of an upsloping connected trend line right through here. What this did was give us a possible shorting opportunity through this area midweek to late last week. Sure enough, you can see the market did break down there and really collapsed all the way down on the gap down or the gap up in reversal here. But nonetheless, the first move came off of this down move right through this green trend line and all the way to the 200 moving average. For those of you in the intraday stock chat or in the research center, you guys know we played the SDS, which is short the market off of that move and made a nice chunk of change. The next day, it gapped higher. The market's overall gapped higher. Where did we gap up to? Into this green trend line. Notice how you had a trend line here break down, and now you retrace to retest that breakdown trend line up here. That's your shorting opportunity number 2 in the market last week. Markets cascaded all the way back down, and we collapsed all the way, and then came all the way into this 109.40 to 109.50 level, and moved higher and came off those lows. At that point, we saw on Friday, obviously, the big gap down and the reversal. Notice this trend line, white trend line connected through that same pivot point, connected through the day. Later in the day, pivot point high, and again, late on the day on Friday, we broke higher and had a little bit of a breakout. That was a good idea, or should have given you a good idea, and did give us a good idea that this market might be up today on Monday. Volume is extremely light. Remember, Mondays are the lightest trading days of the summer, and we've seen that to excess this summer, obviously. But nonetheless, notice the breakout between over the white trend line right here late in the day on Friday. And again, that should have told you that you had a decent chance of having a little bit of an up move. We covered that in the Research Center video on Friday. Again, still with our small neutral to upside bias going into the rest of this week, or at least into some key levels. Now, today on the gap up, look at what happened. You gapped higher, you made a move initially down, then started to move up, and where did you go? Right into that same green trend line. And again, that brings me back to what I discussed right at the opening of this video, telling you how to continue to watch these key trend lines. You have to follow them because obviously that's your shorting opportunity. In fact, I gave that to the chat room before I stepped off here for my lunch break to watch for that and again be short and look at the pullback you got. And all you're doing there is continuing to follow this trend line, which was a breakdown, and you have never gotten back above that green trend line. Each time you hit it, it's been a short, and it was a short right here going back to last Thursday, and again on Monday midday or early in the mid-session right before lunch. That was a beautiful short as well, and you can see the pullback right to this target white trend line. Now, I'm going to zoom in right now, folks. I want to focus on this. And again, there it is. You see the pullback. It comes right into the 20 moving average, white trend line. The market starts to float higher. Again, very, very light volume. If you surge up to this green trend line again, it's another shorting opportunity this afternoon. I don't know if we'll get there this afternoon. Markets, again, very light volume. Only 110 million traded on the SPY. We're on target for probably about 130 to 150 million today, which is extremely light. But should we get up there, it will be a shorting opportunity that I will utilize as well. Now, a couple things to go over about today. For those of you that are interested in what may we have done today, whether it's in the intraday stock chat or in the research center, we had a couple great scalps on some large caps this morning and some great moves on some small caps that we day traded. So it's been a nice solid morning session in the intraday stock chat. In addition, I put out 2 swing trade plays in the research center hot charts and alerts. And for those of you that are interested, the research center is everything that's listed on our website in themoneystocks.com underneath. It all comes included for that $49.99 a month. Now, in the hot charts and alerts, I put up 2 plays today, one short on a large cap. So far, we are in the money on that already, 40 cents. Beautiful little drop on that large cap. And a small cap I put out, which is going to squeeze huge in my opinion. I put it out at around the high $2 level. It's already well over $3, continuing to inch, hitting the highs of the day. And I do think there's a target on this $3.50 to $4. I mean, it's a huge mover possibility here on this small cap play. And it just so happens to be in the energy sector, and I think it is lagging the rest of the plays. And again, could be a monster monster movers. So just to give you a sense, 2 plays, 1 short, 1 long in the research center as swing trades. They're both in the money already today. So it's a good start on a Monday. Very, very profitable start on a Monday so far. It's going to be a profitable week, as it always is for us at In the Money Stocks, and we look forward to having you join us if you're not already a member. If you are a member watching this video, congratulations. Continue to enjoy the profits. Now, let's go over a couple other time frames here. If we go to the 60-minute, what I want to show you guys, and you can watch the weekend video. The weekend video that we put up that I did this weekend, folks, is a very important video. Why? Because it laid out everything that you needed to know for this week, just in a rough glance over. If you're kind of just looking to get a general brief overview of what to expect, what I basically said in the weekend video, and it still holds true, is this blue trend line down here. As long as you stay above this blue trend line, you look for a neutral to upside bias. Well, what's going on today? You're moving up. So that fits the criteria very simply. Right above this little double top here, you're hovering, consolidating. That's fine. As long as you stay above this slanted blue trend line, you're going to look for that neutral to upside bias. If you get below this, then all of a sudden, everything's off the table. You could easily come down. You'll have big bounces along the way, but you will obviously would be making a move probably towards this 101 level on the downside. And it could take a little while, obviously. You have a lot of support, some resistance levels all the way down, but just be aware, that's your pivot point. Right now, this slanted line is your big pivot. If you're on one side, you're looking for upside. If you're on the other side, you're looking for downside. All right. Now, a couple other stocks in motion today, obviously. Let's flip back to the intraday. One thing I want to go over is the drop in the dollar. The drop in the dollar really getting pounded today, gap down and continued move lower. I do attribute the upside in the market to a good portion of the dollar's weakness today. I'm a little surprised at that weakness in the dollar. We did come down to the 200 moving average late last week. I did think that would hold up a little bit. So far intraday, we're below it. What I'm curious to see is if we confirm below it in the next few days. So watch that dollar, but nonetheless, the dollar getting pounded today, and that is helping to the upside of this market. Now, what else? Gold. Gold is basically flat on the day, which is interesting. If you see such a big drop in the dollar, generally you would think gold would be going up a little bit more. But again, there's no fear in the market. Fear has been a driving force behind buying gold. All right, now not all other commodities. All other commodities generally are demand-based, and those are doing very, very well today. But gold itself is more of a fear trade, and there's just no fear in the market right now. You're getting a very lackadaisical type situation, and you're not seeing that fear rushing into gold. Should things change and the market starts to get fearful, starts to roll over and drop, you probably do see the gold chart go all the way back up. All right? So we'll see how things go here, and again, watch very closely. If we go to the USO, big move up on the USO today, trading well above 36. They're on the daily chart. This is an interesting little one right here. If we take a look at the daily, you can see a key pivot point right here, which was a previous resistance level. Notice how you gapped above it and have never gone below. See this pivot high here and gap fill? This was a great shorting opportunity we had called out before in the pullback, and we said, again, this is your big level. Right now you gapped above it. It could be a little bit of a short-term breakout on oil to the upside. We'll watch that into the close. I will go over that in the nightly video to all our premium members tonight, really isolate that out and give them the lowdown on what they need to know. Is it going to be a mover to the 200, or are we going to come back in down below this line and come back to the gap fill, which would be down here, and possibly all the way down to these levels. So again, these are all little things that we need to be paying attention to, folks, and continue to watch. But again, 2 trades today on the swing trade side that are in the money already. Multiple scalp plays, not only on small caps, but also on large caps that we made money on today. It's been a fantastic day. I encourage you to come join the Research Center or the Intraday Stock Chat. We'll see you there soon. Take care, folks.